Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another MAT 170 concept session. Today, we're going to be talking about solving a quadratic equation by factoring. My name is Nick, and I work with the ASU tutoring centers on campus. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing you want to focus on when solving a quadratic equation by factoring is making sure that your equation is in the general form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Now, these letters, the A, the B, and the C, are all what are called constants. So just regular numbers, right? 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth, just integers, right? And they can be negative as well. So these plus signs can also be negative signs, and it's okay. And then we have our x variables here. So just one variable, right, of x, and then all of this must equal to 0. So given the equation that's on the screen here, we know that this equation does not equal the standard equation that we need to get it to, right? So the way we're going to do it is, so we have everything but the c, right? So we have a, which is 1, technically, x squared, plus our b is 3, x. So now we're just missing a c, and then it's also not equal to 0, right? But what I can do is actually just subtract 10 to the other side. So we have x squared plus 3x minus 10 equals 0. And now we match that general form. Now from here, what factoring tells us to do basically is they want us to figure out and basically plug in numbers. So it'll be x, and then we have some blanks here. So what we need to figure out here, we'll just use pluses as placeholders, is what these numbers equal. And the way we do that, so essentially taking us back to like a previous concept session that we talked about foiling. Hopefully you remember that. So like distributing and things like that. Well, essentially what we're doing is we're going the reverse way of foiling, right? So like when you FOIL an equation that's similar in this format here, you get something like x squared plus 3x minus 10. And what we need to figure out are the two constants that are that I've highlighted here, that I've indicated. And the way we do that is, and there are multiple different ways to doing it, right? And one of them is factoring. And the way to factor is basically thinking in your head, what are products, basically factors of C, so this negative 10 here, that add up to our number B, which is 3. So basically, first off, what we'll do is just list out all the factors of 10. And when you write it all out, you know that 1 is a factor of 10. You know that 2 is a factor of 10. You know that 5 is a factor of 10. And then you know that 10 is a factor of 10. So basically, it's just you multiply 1 by 10, 2 by 5, and then you can multiply 5 by 2 to get 10, and then 10 by 1 to get 10. So it's all the possible like ways to multiply numbers together to equal 10, if that makes sense. So now what we need to do is pick out and decide. First off, we need to keep in mind that we have a negative 10 here. And then what we need to do is figure out which ones can we add together to get a positive 3. And those two numbers are positive 5 and negative 2. Right? So when you multiply positive 5 and negative 2 together, you get negative 10. And then when you add 5 and negative 2 together, you get positive 3. And that's our goal. So how this is actually going to write out is we'll do x minus 2 and x plus 5 equals 0. Now, if you FOIL this out, like what we talked about in a previous concept session, you'll actually get x squared plus 3x minus 10. And that's kind of the whole goal of like what we're doing right now. Now, from here, and remember, the whole goal of solving a quadratic equation is to determine what x equals, right? So what we do from here is we basically set each parenthesis, so x minus 2, and then x plus 5 equal to 0. So we'll do x minus 2 first. So we have x minus 2 equals 0. Add 2 to the other side, and you get x equals 2. And then what we'll do the same thing for x plus 5. So we have x plus 5 equals 0. Subtract 5 over, and you get x equals negative 5. So these are our two answers, two solutions rather, to this quadratic equation, is x equals 2 and x equals negative 5. Alrighty, so that's essentially what the concept solving a quadratic equation by factoring is. If you have any other additional questions, go ahead and go on to tutoring.asu.edu. We have a whole list on there of tutoring centers. We have tutoring centers on all 4 major ASU campuses, as well as an online tutoring center. So check out tutoring.asu.edu. That'll list out like the specific courses that each tutoring center offers tutoring for, and then also hours of operation. If you enjoyed this concept session, go ahead and check out that other link on your screen. That'll direct you to a document that lists out all of the different concept session videos for Matt 170. So you can go ahead and just pick and choose where you'd like to go. So other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day and good luck in your course.